Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're having an excellent Tuesday. My name is Chateau Morrison. I'm the Princess of Positivity, and I want to welcome you back to another short podcast episode of Fat and Happy Tapping Tuesdays. Now, if this is your first time joining me, let me tell you, this is just a little micro sampling of what we do on Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m. Typically, I have a co-host. Her name is Morgan. We are on hiatus from our typical podcast, but it's every Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. And just in case you're wondering, season 2 will begin the second Tuesday in September. Today is all about embracing authenticity in midlife. If you happen to be a midlife woman, let's face it, you've received all the messages. You have to look like this. You have to talk like this. You have to go to school like this. You have to marry like this. And by the way, when you walk in a room, you have to walk in this way. You have to talk this way. You have to explain yourself this way. You have to be assertive. You have to be aggressive. You have to be reticent. You have to stand back. All of these things. And then what happens? Other aggressive women may start asking you a barrage of questions about who are you? What have you done? What degrees do you have? Do you measure up? And you find yourself trying to level set to everyone in the room. That's ever been you? Where you feel like I walked into this room and I don't think I can be myself because who I am is not who they are, and I have to kind of conform to who they are. If that has ever happened to you, this episode is for you. Let me tell you who it's also for, though. If you're a mom, an auntie, you have a sister, you have someone who's younger in your life who you know you're trying to mentor and bring along with you, make sure you share this episode, because it's not just about what happens in the boardroom. It's not just about what happens around the family dining room table. It also happens to our young people when they go to high school. It happens to that freshman college student. It happens on that first day of work for our young 20-somethings. So this is an episode that as a midlife woman, you have a responsibility to bring to someone else, because the closer we can get to a place of authenticity, the better we are at finding our joy. The closer we are to confidently finding our authentic selves, the easier it is for us to grow, because we're growing from a place of truth. And how do you find your truth? You got to get to know yourself. It doesn't matter what other people are questioning you. It doesn't matter about, conforming, or it doesn't matter about trying to figure out who you're supposed to be based on some benchmark that someone's created. It is about figuring out, when you walk into a room, how do you walk in with confidence? How do you walk in and stop comparing yourself to anybody else? It really matters. This is about knowing yourself, loving yourself, pacing yourself, and walking to a room with power and confidence. Let me share with you that this metaphor of walking into a room with confidence, making room for yourself, is a theme that was brought through our Getting to After magazine, the Midsummer edition. It is still available. It is a really good one. Think poetry / literary magazine / health and wellness and recipes all in one place. It's free. It's the Getting to After magazine, and you can get it at bit.ly/G2A-summer. And while we talk about that, if you've ever wanted to work with an EFT concierge coach, or for that matter, a core energy coach, you can always get on my calendar at bit.ly/chat-tap. Now, without further ado, we're going to jump into this tapping. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to tap on the side of the hand. If this is your first time tapping with me, don't worry. It may feel a little bit funny, but it's actually a very, very cool thing to do. EFT, or Emotional Freedom Technique, is a self-soothing modality that helps you to calm your nervous system. It helps you to basically accept the things you don't necessarily like about what's going on with you, and also to neutralize that, because you're going to let it coexist with the things you do like, or coexist with the love that you already have. It's very, very powerful. Think acupressure, acupuncture meets I can do this anytime, even while I'm driving, although I would beware driving. If you're driving now, wait, okay? I'm just tapping on the side of my hand. And while I do this, I want you to kind of take some deep breaths in. And when you do the deep breath, what I want you to do is I want you to breathe in really deep through your nose. But now through your mouth. You get that? And we're going to always come back here while we're doing those breaths. You can copy after me as I talk, or you can repeat, you can whisper it, you can say it in your minds, or you can just watch me. You can watch this entire video, bookmark it, and come back later. In the midst of our tapping, I'm going to stop and ask you some questions, basically journaling prompts that will help you to make your tapping even more meaningful when you do this tapping again. One time doing a tapping is never enough, so you can always come back to this recording as well. If you're here for the premiere, welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started with our setup phrase on the karate chop point. Even though I've sometimes felt I wasn't enough, unless I matched someone else's version of authenticity, I choose to love myself right here, right now. Even though I've let other people's comparisons and questions make me doubt who I am, I honor my journey and my right to be fully me. And even though part of me still worries about how I'll be perceived, I deeply and completely accept myself, inside and out. Now you're going to stop tapping on the side of your hand, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into tapping through the points. And again, if you've not done this before, it's a great time to just get started. Try something new, and then let me know how you felt about it in the comments afterwards. Let's start at the eyebrow point. All this pressure to measure up to someone else's standard. Side of eye. The comparison, the sizing up, the questions that feel invasive. Under eye. The moments I've wondered if I actually show up as my authentic self. Is it too much? Is it not enough? Under nose. Feeling that weight in my chest when I walk into a room of strangers for the first time. Chin. Noticing that part of me that still wants to blend in, just to be safe. Collarbone. I've been told in subtle and not so subtle ways that who I authentically am may not be acceptable. Underarm. This has made me second guess myself again and again. Top of head. Top of head. It's exhausting trying to match someone else's picture of me. Eyebrow. I learned early on to adjust and adapt, just to keep the peace. Side of eye. I've tried on other people's confidence like an outfit. Under eye. I thought authenticity was about appearance, not about truth. Under nose. Those moments of copy don't feel natural. Chin. I feel like I'm missing connection by always wanting approval. Collarbone. I've never known if I can choose differently. Underarm. I am ready to release the shrinking to fit someone else's frame. Top of head. Maybe I can stand as I am, rooted and whole. Okay, so that's our first phase of tapping. Can you take a deep breath in? I would love to hear how you're feeling just from those first two. We start to delve into some of these feelings and where they began. And now with the questions, which is basically our write and release step, we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the questions that will help you get to some of the bottom of this. Now, granted, you can't do all of this in a podcast, but if you would like to work with a coach, I'm available. The first thing I'd like you to do, if you're watching this in the premiere, is bookmark this and come on back with your journal. But for now, what you can do is you can think about the questions. If you're watching the replay of this, then of course you can stop it, and go ahead and journal on the spot. The first question is, when have you felt most like yourself without being performative? When have you felt most like yourself without needing to perform? Number two, what physical sensations let you know that you're in alignment with your truth? When you walk in a room and you feel confident at your posture, you kind of bring your shoulders back up, down, and around, and you walk in and you make eye contact. What are those feelings? Not the butterflies in your stomach, those strength feelings that you feel when I'm walking in my truth today. I feel good about this. Journal on what those physical sensations are. You need to know them. Number three, which relationships invite you to be your whole self? And which relationships ask you to hide? Which relationships invite you to be your whole self? And which relationships ask you to hide? And an additional question that you can ask yourself is, how much time are you spending with people that invite you to hide versus those who invite you to be yourself? How much time? It's important to know this so that you can make good, strong decisions about where you're spending your time. Number four, because I always want you to future focus, what's one small choice you can make this week that says, I'm showing up as me? What's one small choice? Is it eating when you're hungry and not just when everyone else is eating? Is it pushing your plate away because it's something you don't want? Is it eating in full view? If you want a piece of chocolate or ice cream, I'm going to eat that no matter what my weight is. Is it embracing in a meeting that your idea is different than everybody else's? And because you're told that we value everyone's opinion, but you're afraid. Like if I'm different here and I authentically think like myself, maybe you're artistic, maybe you're very analytical, and either choice is different than the group. Will you go ahead and put your idea forward this week? I believe very strongly in taking just one step. I think it's so important and we don't do it enough. So my advice this week is that you go ahead and see how you can take that one small choice, that one small step of showing up just as yourself. So now we're going to get back to some tapping. We're going to release some of this that we've been talking about and thinking about and tapping on. And then we're going to do some affirmations. And then we're going to get on out of here. Are you ready? Let's go. Eyebrow. I release the urge to match someone else's version of me. Side of eye. I am open to letting go of the habit of comparing my credentials and worth. Under eye. I release the belief that I'm only acceptable if I look a certain way. Under nose. I clear the tension in my body that comes from bracing for judgment. I release the old stories that keep me performing instead of being. Collarbone. I let go of the fear that my authenticity will cost me belonging. Underarm. I make space for my voice. I make space for my choices. I make space for my style. Top of head. I set down the weight of other people's expectations. Breathe in. Let that go. Let's do some affirmations. If these are too strong for you you can add progression. So you can add things like, I'm open to, I'm willing to, I'm starting to. I'm going to go straight into some affirmations, but you can always make them progressive to make them feel more like you. I know myself. I love myself. I choose to walk into a room from that place of knowing. My worth is not up for debate. I can be radiant and rooted in my own skin. I trust my boundaries. I bring my whole self to every room. I am my authentic self, and that is more than enough. Go ahead and you can stop tapping right now. And what I'd like you to do is we're going to do a little bit of grounding and just kind of center that and get it anchored in. So what you can do is you can place your hands together and rub them together if you like. You can put a hand over your heart or one on your belly. I kind of like to put my hand here and kind of ground myself. Again, you can have your feet firmly on the floor. Do a few deep breaths while we do this. In through your nose. Hold it. Out through your mouth. Whisper to yourself, I love you. I'm supported. I'm not alone. And I belong in any room I step into. My authentic self is more than good enough. Okay, so how did that make you feel? I hope this transformation made you feel a little bit different. I hope that you're able to kind of introspect and figure out, oh, there are places where I don't feel good enough, or I'm always comparing myself, and I need to work on that. The whole goal of getting to after is that by the time we get to midlife, there's a lot of stuff we've been through, and we don't have to continue to carry that on with us. As moms, as wives, as workers, as daughters, we are caring for so many people. You can do it a little bit better if you get rid of all of that baggage from behind you. And that's what getting to after is all about. Focusing attention and taking time, getting in some tapping, some grounding, some deep breathing is a perfect way to start your day and to move through your week in confidence, in authenticity, and knowing that you belong in any room that you step into. My name is Chateau Morrison. I am the Princess of Positivity. I believe that you can release your negativity so your positivity can reign in your brain, in your business, in your big, beautiful life. I invite you to come on back to Getting to After, our podcast, next Tuesday at 8 a.m. Eastern. But I also invite you, if there's something that you'd like to share about how the tapping worked for you, or if you'd like a particular topic to be tapped on, go ahead and let me know. You can also get your own appointment with me at bit.ly/chat-tap. And one more plug for the midsummer edition of the Getting to After magazine. Do not miss it. You can get that at bit.ly/G2A-summer, all uppercase, and you will love the magazine. It's free. It shouldn't be, but it is. And I'm telling you, it's free and it shouldn't be. My mama told me that. Why aren't you charging for that? Anyway, I said, Mom, I'm good enough. I want to give it away right now because it's worth, I want everyone to be able to have a copy. I can't promise it's always going to be free though. So for around, get your copy. bit.ly/G2A, that's the number 2, A-summer. You will love it. I will see you next time. But until I do, remember this: be authentic, be brilliant, and absolutely be the catalyst. See you next time.